From India's crowded trains to bumper road traffic, from its streets often being littered with trash to the poor state of its hospitals and schools, it has often been in fashion to blame all these ills on the size of its population. Going by this logic, alarm bells should ideally be ringing with the latest UN Population Fund report saying that India is set to become the most populous country in the world with 1.429 billion people by the middle of 2023, surpassing China at 1.426 billion. But a growing population can be a boon too. That is why, following the report, a UN representative also highlighted that with close to 50% of its population below the age of 25, India has a time-bound opportunity to benefit from the demographic dividend. How come? As the representative explained, India was witnessing a demographic transition as a youthful nation. A country stands to reap large economic benefits when the share of the working age population made up by the people between the ages of 15 to 64 is larger than the non-working age share. This is popularly known as a demographic dividend. But the National Family Health Survey released in 2021 showed that India's total fertility rate had declined from 2.2 in 2015 to 16 to 2.0 in 2019 to 21, which is below the replacement level. This means India's population is set to eventually fall. As such, experts agree that India's demographic dividend will last for another 2 decades and maybe even for a third. And India should cash in on it sooner rather than later. India's success in that will depend upon its working age population having good health, quality education, decent employment, and a lower proportion of young dependents. With the advent of artificial intelligence and automation, resilience to technological disruption can also be added to the list. So, let us take a look at where India is placed. The latest National Family Health Survey also revealed that 67% of children under 5 and 59% of girls in the age group of 15 to 19 were anemic. Meanwhile, experts have said that the rise in health expenditure in budget 2023-24 was not enough to keep up with inflation. According to the National Health Policy 2017, the health budget is targeted at 2.5% of GDP by 2025. But experts have said that India is a long way from reaching that target.
At the moment, India's investment in health is about 1.2%. Even if you accept that expenditure on nutrition, water, air pollution, all of these also contribute to health, even then it doesn't really go up beyond 1.5%. And what we really require is a jump in health expenditure as a percentage of GDP to at least 2.5%, and that too well spent in terms of the priorities, and then we can get the required dividend.
What about skilling? In 2021 to 22, the government's flagship skills mission scheme was only able to get a fifth of its trainees placed in a job against a target of 70%. Meanwhile, the latest multiple indicator survey report revealed that barely 27% of respondents in the 15 to 29 age group said they knew how to send an email with attachments, and only 9% could create a presentation using software.
The biggest thing that needs to be done for blue-collar workers is they need to be trained in basic digital skills. Apart from these technical digital skills, I think soft skills, because they need increased collaboration with the kind of jobs that are now going to come up. They're no longer going to be simple assembly workers standing in a line, assembling things and moving things forward.
According to the Annual Status of Education Report 2022, while student enrollments have increased to more than pre-pandemic level, the basic reading ability of school students across all classes has dropped to pre-2012 level, and basic math skills have declined to 2018 level. Moving from education to jobs, to absorb new workers and those shifting from farm work, India needs to generate close to 12 million additional non-farm jobs every year between 2023 and 2030. This would triple the number created annually between 2012 and 2018. Clearly, an intervention is called for.
But despite all the promises in the new education policy of taking education expenditure as a proportion to GDP to 6%, we are actually at 2.9%. Our goal has not to be achieving a $5 trillion economy, but rather that we add a minimum of 10 to 12 million non-farm jobs every year. So we pull workers out of agriculture. That raises real wages in agriculture, and that raises aggregate demand. How are we going to raise non-farm jobs? Well, clearly PLI is not going to do it. In any case, it's mainly in capital-intensive sectors. So the focus needs to be on MSMEs.
India is more likely to face a demographic challenge than reap a dividend unless a whole of government approach is adopted towards education, health, nutrition, skills that match the needs of the time, and greatly accelerated job creation.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.